And we're back.
Hey, we are back in the motherfucking he's it, baby.
New and improved.
Wash motherfucking gods.
Washed but never washed up. Thank you for everybody still tuning in.
Yeah, man, I appreciate all the listenership thus far.
Worldwide, might I add, man. We
Hell yeah.
worldwide now.
Shout out Ireland, man. Shout out Germany.
Shout out to
Apparently
UK.
somebody's listening there.
You know.
Shout out to the UK. Somebody's listening there also. And all my niggas in the A, man. And you know, wherever other places y'all niggas listening. Like you said, we washed but not washed up. Welcome back. I think this is episode 16, 17,
Possibly.
something like that. Y'all
inching
see
our way
it
up
in
to
the
20.
yeah, y'all see it in the info. Yeah, we're inching on 20.
What's good though, man? How you been?
I've been alive.
Yeah.
As anybody knows, it's a fucking interesting time in the world, man. This shit is like weird as fuck. It feels like the ending of apartheid and shit in
Shit
America.
feels dystopian.
Yeah,
Almost. It's almost surreal, especially if you pay attention to history.
yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't really know how the fuck I've been, man. I've really been like, it's tricky. I'm sure. I think everybody black has been walking this like weird like little like fucking line where like you're trying to pay attention to everything that's going on
And trying to detach.
and trying to detach at the same time because it's like because it gets a little overwhelming
It
after
creates
a
a
while.
lot of anxiety just based off of overflow of information.
Yeah, when the unrest first started happening, like you know, I couldn't sleep. You know, they call it unrest for a reason. Um, but nah, but seriously, like I really couldn't sleep. Just like I don't know, my mind's just been really busy lately. It's not even that I'm not one of the blacks that's like super excited about what's happening right now, but I'm interested. I'm interested in what's happening right now. So shout out to all the youth, man, that's really been out there. Like
Everything that I feel right now, not in terms of anger or sadness or despair, but what I look at when I see black people act a certain kind of way makes me remember that it ain't nothing new under the sun. Like we talked about in another podcast, you kind of see the figureheads kind of rise up where there's lack of leadership.
speaking of which, I'm glad you said that. Yesterday I'm up late night. Couldn't sleep, as I
Fishing,
said.
trying to catch me a great white. That's how we on it.
But nah, real shit. I'm up and I stumble upon like I'm just searching through YouTube and I stumble upon like the state of Black America, and it's 1988. Ironically, I was born in '88, so it had me interested. It was Huey Newton and it was two other black guys that say big words, and and they were just talking about the like the state of America in 1988. Like I said, it sparked my interest because I was born in '88, and like it was like you said, right? It wasn't nothing. It literally was not one thing that they said that was different. Like they were talking about like how more black people need to enroll in college. One black lady in the audience was like, I just wish black people would organize like we did when the Panthers were around, because like it was '88. This is after they already
Right.
took apart the Panthers, and Huey Newton was kind of like an older fellow, and like so it's just like that's why when I hear all the arguments now, like I always tell people like if you want to know anything, bro, study what happened before you. Like you'll understand that like this like that's why I kind of feel like black people always discount the other black people before them. Like they assume that
Oh
like
man, they look. I see so
like
much
because we
conversation
got
about
iPhones.
allies.
Yeah, we got iPhones. You
There's so
think you're
much
smarter than
conversation.
Malcolm X or fucking Martin Luther King? It's
There's
like
so much conversation about everybody who's not black, and I feel like that's part of the problem. There are so many people inside our culture that are allowed to move and say whatever in behalf of us, and then only when they fuck up are they told like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then everybody wants to cancel them. Like, you should have been having these conversations when they were saying the N word around you and doing all this sucker shit from jump, so that way when some real shit happens, you know who's around you. I think that's a big problem I see with African Americans in general. Like
Like
we allow
I
people
don't
to
think.
mine our culture.
Yeah, and it's like an African American. Like I don't think Jamiroquai could perform in Jamaica, and they let him rock. Like nigga, no, motherfucker, we do this. Like you can't do this.
Well, I don't know if it's Jamiroquai. Snow maybe. Snow.
Same.
Snow might have had problems. But what's wild is, and to that point, cause he black, Shaggy ain't Jamaican, nigga, and he slid, bruh. Slid got diamond records.
Yeah.
So.
But he sold it to us though. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
Yeah.
That's still family business.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was the point? Racism is bad.
Yeah.
In case you didn't get the point.
But yeah, man, it's just been like a funny thing. I also saw someone talk about like, yo, I was just on Twitter surfing and they was like, yo, I went to a Black Lives Matter march and like it was like 4 black people there. And, like I didn't know whether to be excited or weirded out. And like back to the whole allyship like conversation, it's just like Black Lives Matter starting to feel like Beanie Babies, nigga. Like it's just some shit that people say. Like it's like, yo, I got this, nigga. Like it's a collectible, nigga. Like it's just some shit that you post. Like, all right, I'm not racist. You saw my BLM post. You saw my black square, motherfucker. I'm out this bitch. Like
it's a way.
I attended a rally. I took a dope ass photo. It's my fist up.
It's a way to trigger white people around you too. Just
yeah, like it's
a
way to
matter,
be.
You look somebody in their eyes.
It's a rebel. It's like it's a rebellious statement for white people. It's not necessarily about what it means. It's like to say I'm a rebel. I'm different. Like I'm a bold individual.
This is edgy.
You know,
like it's the same shit. It's the same shit that they've been doing with rap.
Hey, I was just talking to Nick about this shit. Like I was like, bro, like honestly, like me and you are cool before this. Like, bro, you don't have to go to no rally or no shit. Like the way you live life every day is your petition sign, is all that shit that everybody's doing. Like, fuck what everybody like. Do that shit in life. That's what matters, I think that's motherfucker. Like, I don't give a fuck about like these cool little photo ops this niggas is doing. Even black people doing the shit, and you know what I mean. That kind of like made me feel a way about like the movement, but maybe it needs to be trendy for it to work.
At this day and age, I think it does. I saw Instagram meme that I thought was interesting enough to screenshot. It was just basically about, of course it didn't save, but fuck it. It was about the path to revolution is self-awareness. Like once you know yourself, you know your place in the world and know how to affect change. And I think that's the biggest hang up we have right now is it's done by people who don't necessarily know who they are yet. Like all the change from protests, whether it be peaceful or destructive, has spoken volumes of what protesting does. Like from in an era where we've seen multiple black people murdered by police in multiple cities, and all of them have marches. Everybody say their name. They got a hashtag, and it's the only time some shit that never shook.
I mean, I think we shook it before, but it's also like, me talking to friends from other nationalities and talking about how like the structure is based on like versus black people. When you don't have no leader, then nobody can ever like take your leader from you. When you have a vocal leader, they can derail the movement. You have no leader, and it's a consciousness thing, like you said. Ain't no way to derail it. It's like, nigga, we already feel like this. Right. You can kill whoever. You kill whoever in the Asian community. They gonna move a certain way.
Yep.
Kill whoever in the Jewish community. They gonna move a certain way. There's no leader you can kill. Like that's how you really like move.
And I think it's been a
like
it's been a time thing. Like I've always
it's been I'm sorry, but it was a dope ass shit I saw with Gil Scott-Heron. He was talking about like the purpose or the meaning of the revolution would not be televised. He was like, when I said that, I mean like there's no law you can pass, there's no protest you can do. Like
it's a feeling.
It's a feeling. Like the consciousness will switch in all of society, and you'll realize you're on the wrong side of this shit. Like. And you got to get with it or get lost, like, basically. So, like, I think that's really what it is. Like, I mean, the protests are good, and maybe that will spark the awakening in people who maybe wasn't paying attention before. But
Mhm.
at the same time, it's like people asking for laws. It's kind of ridiculous. Like, I don't think it's a law against racism that you can pass. Like,
Yeah. What I was gonna say was I've always said that I feel like as far as having stature, African Americans in this country are like adolescents. So we're just kind of getting past our puberty years.
we
Like
too
this
happy
is,
about it.
I feel like we're too happy about any sort of progress we make. Like I think everybody else kind of built inside enclosed community and then branched out. We never get the chance to get in like enclosed. We always want to branch out and be a part of somebody else's group as soon as we get any stature. And I think that just comes with trial and error. Like we haven't had a lot of time to mix and mingle. When we did find ways to separate ourselves and build economy and try to build ourselves up, they bombed us
Yeah.
or they massacred us. You know what I mean? And we've got examples of like whether it be Tulsa, which everybody's been name dropping, or Rosewood. Shout out Ving Rhames.
It was communities in South Carolina that niggas talked about, and it's
Sapelo Island, like islands
yeah.
off the coast of Georgia.
It was communities all over the United States. You know what I mean? I think they became a threat, and government agencies got worried. But we gon'
Yeah, wash moments.
yeah, we can get on these wash moments.
Pink do rags first. Go ahead, flex.
Yeah, man. I don't have nothing to say about my pink do rag. You niggas see it. If you know, you know. Uncle Jemima, man. I think my wash moment low key is. I said I was gonna get off that topic, but everybody been talking about the riots. I've been like, yo, go young brother, go. Like I've been rooting for the young niggas. I'm like, man, they finally put their energy in some shit that I like, man. Like fuck all the,
political correctness.
Yeah, like let's get physical. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's been enjoyable to see the young niggas rebel against the system. To be honest, like I love it. I'm watching every moment. Like yeah. Fuck these niggas, man. Fuck the system. Like yeah.
You want them to talk to you like that?
Yeah, nigga. Yeah, put your life on the line as I sit at home and podcast.
Everybody has a revolution, man. No, I said the same shit to Will and Maya a couple weeks ago when we were outside. I was just like, yo, it's dope to be like, yo, they better let me in here or I'll ride in this bitch and nobody say shit. Like,
because it really might happen.
Because it could happen. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to be on the wrong side of history. Because then you got to buy plywood, you know what I mean? You got to move all your inventory.
We'll really fuck your shit up.
Yeah, man. I don't even have to do it. I can just say, yo, Twitter, do your thing.
Hell yeah.
I went in here. They told me I had to have a white mask.
My black mask wasn't
my black mask wasn't good enough. Black masks matter, man. But yeah, I could piggyback on your wash moment because my wash moment was just somebody told me that their favorite rapper was fabulous. A girl told me that their favorite rapper was fabulous.
Man, that's not that wash, man. A lot of bitches like fabulous.
I feel like it
shout out to FABOLO US.
I felt like it said a lot about the type of rapper that she feels like I identify with.
You got your hat backwards and shit. You probably got hella jerseys.
Shout out to Fab, man. I fuck with you, dog. Summertime shootout. That shit was hard. Maybe that's what she was listening to. She was listening to New Fab, Soul Tape 3.
Hell yeah.
Like I remember
you a Soul Tape ass nigga.
Yeah,
bro.
I might be a Soul Tape ass nigga on the outside. On the inside.
On the outside.
Yeah, on the outside. Yeah, I'll give you that. I would like to be a Soul Tape ass. You know who's a Soul Tape ass nigga?
Me.
Yeah, you a Soul Tape ass.
I actually, what's crazy is I'm low key
Soul
like an
Tape
undercover.
is mood music.
Yeah, but not.
Not.
Shout out to Joey. Joey, come back to rap, man.
Please.
We need you. It ain't mood
That's
music.
what we need to lead the dog, nigga. Joe Budden is for president.
Yeah. I'm gonna elect Joe Budden for president.
Hey, man, you heard it here first, bro.
yeah, man. We can get into the topics, man. I look,
Speak.
we can start with what you got?
I mean, you done open the door now.
Yeah. I was gonna say we. I don't want to like stay on it. We'll switch it up. We'll come back to that. What you got?
Hey, all the
first?
topics kind of center around.
Yeah.
What's
Well,
happening
we're
in
gonna
current
talk
events.
about black conservatives, man, because I feel like it's like a big like part of, maybe not a big, but definitely a large part of black society that people don't talk about. Like,
You talking about like the front running black conservatives like Candace Owens, or
not even just Candace Owens. Like, I feel like that get lost too, because I saw B Dot from Rap Radar.
uh-huh.
Apparently, he's a Republican. He's a black conservative. Um,
You
so
look like a black conservative.
you know, he's very religious and has like certain values. So like, it's a lot. It's a certain percentage of black people that actually benefited from the system, and they feel like they don't want this shit to change. Like, they're happy about the way things are, and I always feel like they contribute to like the lack of progression when it comes to like the overall status of black people. Because, as I said before, like other cultures, they're not as divided as us. Like,
When shit happens, they tend to get on the same page.
even within their culture, it's not like, it's Asian people aren't, from what I know, is Asian people aren't looking down at the poorest. Like, if we're all like this specific type of Asian person, then we're all in this shit together. Until you're rich, I'm not rich. So I think black people feel like a lot of times it's like, bruh, I made it, bro. You gotta figure this shit out too. It's like, nah. But if we looked at it like the way everybody else looked at it, like,
Like group economics.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, it's a
and
certain.
didn't look down on the fact that people had to do it, or the people who do it. Because a lot of times I joke about it. I'm like, yo, Lawrenceville is like the land of white vans. But I bet everybody got a business with that white van.
Yeah, even Doraville. Like, I mean, you walk around this neighborhood, it's like, yeah, it's a ton of Mexican families with 10 or 12 people in there, but I guarantee
Everybody got a new truck.
yeah, niggas not even, like, thinking about copping a house until.
Even some black people, I remember, shout out my OG Robin, man. Him and his brothers moved up here from Guyana, and they just all had a house. So it's a house in a residential neighborhood with just 3 niggas, and then the kids move up there. So it's 3 niggas and 2 kids, and then they got their wives up here, and then everybody else had saved up money, and they bought a house in the neighborhood. I'm just looking like, yo, your whole family live over here, and it was dope to see, just because, like I said, it was foreign to me outside of in a black community for us to kind of like work together and it'd be cool for them to all live there, and looking at it like, yo, y'all grown, y'all cool with this,
Yeah.
just from a society where it's like, yo, hurry up, graduate high school,
Yeah.
hurry up, graduate college, see if you can find a relationship, get married, have kids, make sure you start buying houses, cars, things of that nature.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember even my own parents was like, I turned 18, graduated college, high school or whatever. And it was like, I told them, like, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And they're like, well, you 18, man. You got to figure it out or get the fuck out of here. If you're not in school, you can't live here. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and that should be passed down.
like, and it's low-key some, like, it's low-key slave shit, man.
I was about to say, it seemed like slave shit. I've had conversations with parents about having young children and the idea of like spanking them for certain shit. I'm like, yo, I look at black parents differently when they hit their kids.
I think discipline, it should be a thing, but I don't think
Yeah, definitely.
it doesn't have to be a physical thing. I think if you establish a certain like
rapport
with your child, you don't
shouldn't-
even have to.
you
Like,
shouldn't have to hit,
sometimes
especially at a certain age.
you can really just like show them you're disappointed, and that means more to them than any spanking you can do. You know what I mean? Like, if y'all have that type of rapport where they love and respect you in that manner.
So I think black parents kind of do pick up a lot of the old
The
antiques.
spanking is low key some slavery shit.
Yeah, antiques of slavery. And I don't know, just because I haven't gotten to a point where I have discussions, other than like some Hispanic people, that I haven't gotten to a point where I'm able to have dialogue with somebody who's Asian and be like, yo, what was your childhood like? Did this happen?
Yeah, see, I've had those dialogues, and it's just like it's been interesting to be like, oh shit, like oh, this is just us. Like
Yeah.
nobody even thinks like that.
I
Like,
remember you telling me some shit that I still kind of use as soon as I had Austin, like word association, like how you can just take words and set them out and let them arrange sentences out of the words. And you're like, oh, this is how thoughts are made.
mm-hmm.
You don't think like that coming from where we come from. You're
Yeah, we
not
don't.
taught to think that way coming from where we come from.
My
And it
parents,
ain't nobody's fault because it's usually the parents who weren't taught to think that way from jump.
like, luckily my parents were hippies and also like niggas. So like, I did get like capital punishment, but I also got like freedom to just explore mentally. So it's just like, I, the internet. I mean, I think kids. I mean, when I was a kid, the internet was encyclopedias and shit. So like, that shit was almost like a gift to me and shit. To like fucking get to explore like information and shit. I think like information is so like readily available now.
Yeah,
Now it's like it's not so much a gift, but like
and
having that shit as a kid allowed me to like think.
independently.
Yeah,
I
like
think now the another wash moment, the gift of having age means discernment. You're able to kind of see the forest from the trees in a lot of situations. Now, I heard somebody say something about protesting where they're like, "Yo, if you 30 and up, what you doing out on the front lines protesting? Like you should."
if anything, we should be the ones out there on the
You're
front
right,
lines.
but at the same time, there have been other. I think Angela Davis was one of the people who said revolution is for the young. Like, when I look at old revolutionaries from the 60s and 70s, these motherfuckers was 23, 24.
Yeah, yeah,
They were
definitely.
no older than 30.
Yeah,
Like, everybody who was 30 was trying to run for office. They were trying to spin whatever political movement or whatever social movement they had into a political route. So now, because we don't have that, what I've seen some people doing, and which is what I've said I do. If anybody who was trying to go to a protest who was younger than me, make sure I got your contact information. Make sure we can bail you out. You know what I mean? Like, you can always show support, but I don't think we are built the same reason that niggas who are 30 and up don't get drafted. We not built for it. Cause I'm thinking to myself, I want to go to a protest. I feel pussy, like, cause I've been to protests. I'm having conversations with niggas in other cities who are like, yeah, I just went to my first one, bro. I'm going to 3 more this week. It's like, man, bro, I'm out here
yeah,
slaving for somebody else. But at the same time, I do know people who have reached out to me and we've had conversations. Like, if anything, I'm staying more in the loop from people who are actually there, which I take more solace in than just going to Twitter and scrolling my timeline and trying to pick up and filter feed what's true and what's not.
yeah. I'm like 50-50. Like, I do think that the protest is definitely for the young, but I saw like an 89-year-old woman with her cane marching, and she was screaming like justice for George Floyd. You know what I'm saying? I can't even front. Like, that shit low key made a nigga tear up a little bit. Like, it was just like, you know, like it's something to be said about that.
Yeah.
Like, she feel the pain of she feel the same pain that somebody 19 feel. That
Yeah.
made that is new to them, and she's still feeling it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And like her just being out there, I think is inspiration. Like when kids see that, they really understand how real the struggle is.
And how long it's been.
Yeah. So sometimes I think it is people like us that got to be out there, and might maybe not necessarily people our age, but like maybe people my parents' age kind of got to be out there to show like. Maybe even if, like you said, not out there, but maybe even in solidarity with everybody. Like, let me give you a call. Let me tell you, like, your fight is worth it. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, cause I think that's important. Like,
I think
we gotta. I think certain generations might have dropped the ball. Like they got too comfortable.
Yeah, I think a lot of generations. I said that to somebody else I was having a conversation with about this whole the old versus young conversation about how old people see it. And I will say to the young people, man, you gotta understand that like at certain ages, a lot of niggas get pussy, like real pussy. And it's not that they mean to be a certain kind of way. It's just the way nature is, man, and it doesn't make it an excuse. But you got to look at certain niggas like I don't expect you to do much. I don't expect you to do much. And being people that have done it before and are so inclined to do it again, it makes it difficult to sit back and watch people just make all this progress, and you have to figure out instead of just moving on impulse like how you feel, and you have to figure out what the most practical way of making a change is. Like sometimes voting doesn't feel like it's enough. Like that's why I don't think going home made sense. That's why I don't think not tearing their shit up. They gotta feel like it's gonna be a loss on their side for them to ever take us seriously. But
And I also think it was a reason why I kind of felt like I needed to be out there because I don't want the, I don't want this shit to die. So if I'm one more body on the street, I can say that I made my contribution, even though I know how I live. So like I'm every day telling niggas, you know, you know what
certain
it is.
shit ain't gonna fly.
Yeah, it just is what it is. Like you gotta understand what the power structure is. Like once you understand that, I think it's easier to move. It doesn't make it like cool. You shouldn't be okay with it, but at least understand what the power structure is. But I know we started from black conservatives, and they got a long way from that.
I don't know what you define the next topic or the next individual in our next topic as. Probably just losing his fucking mind. Tenzin, I've never heard of this nigga.
Me either. I didn't hear him until you sent me the little tweet.
Yeah, and I thought we just had a conversation the other day. I'm talking about conversations I've had in multiple instances, but that's usually all the shit that I do. But we were talking about how there's so many people kind of inside black culture that it's hard to figure out who's really worth their salt. And I think this is just another example of that bullshit coming to light.
I mean, I've been telling niggas, man, to be honest, like, ever since our first foray into, or what's the word?
Soiree? Four-year in the rap?
Porch. Our first porch in the rap.
Ever since we stooped into this game.
Yeah. Let's go with that. Like I noticed it was like it was two kinds of people around us, right? It was like I think black people that was like civil rights, man. Way to go, brother. Way to go. You know what I'm saying? And it was also like what I feel like may be what the new Black Lives Matter movement is. Shout out to Chewy, man. I'm sure y'all heard my cat all night. It's not my cat, but it's a cat that's here.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what I think was the Black Lives Matter movement. There's a lot of like white people that are like, oh, well, that's interesting. You know what I mean? And they probably like took a liking to what we did. They was ready to help us when we was like had a little buzz, and then
shit changed.
Yeah, shit get different, and then they just hop to the next rapper because it's like, oh, what's the next nigga that's hot right now?
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like the Black Lives Matter movement is turning into. But
so apparently this individual was
but yeah,
arrested.
Those type of photographers exist.
in a strange turn of events, he was arrested at a Black Lives Matter rally, I guess in 2016, and was bailed out. He has a black baby mother by means of that relationship. He's got a black child. He gets caught talking about black people in a demeaning way. Something about 99% of them are jokes. All this other shit. I don't necessarily think that. I'm just gonna say it. I don't think he's wrong, but I think he's the wrong motherfucker to say it. I think you gotta stop letting people have access to our bullshit. We kind of gotta handle shit in house.
I mean, to say that 99% of black people are jokes is to say that 99% of people are jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Like, it's not a lot of dope people, man. Like,
and that's what makes dope people dope.
Yeah, like that's just is what it is. It's
and
black, white.
I think his baby mother set him up or some shit, which is
good.
we shout out to that sister, man.
Yeah,
we
man.
hold you up in solidarity. Get this nigga the fuck up out of here. But it's a lot to be said about the company you keep too. Like, and
as
I
I
think
said
about like that. Everybody want to invite motherfuckers to the barbecue, bro. Like, stop inviting motherfuckers to the barbecue. That's just not cool. Nobody else do that shit. You don't get invited to Hanukkah parties. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't get invited to Ramadan unless you're Taji. But nah, that being said, like, stop inviting motherfuckers to our cultural events if they're not genuinely interested. All these other things, you have to take a genuine interest for people to take you seriously. We just be auctioning off like all our gains, all our wins, and somebody just suck it up, and then we cry after the fact. And it's not, like I said, it's not all our fault. I do feel like we gotta learn this shit by trial and error. But nigga, as soon as you see something, adjust.
You know, one thing I learned today, about anime. So there's two kinds of anime apparently. There's like, of course, what I know about anime, like Dragon Ball Z, Naruto,
I'm sure it's more Dragon.
Earthbender, whatever that last Airbender.
That's
guy.
not really a true anime.
Yeah, well, obviously.
All right.
None of that shit is true anime. All the shit I named isn't true anime, apparently.
Okay. All right.
But apparently a lot of like anime, like the anime that is like really ingrained into the culture is like very spiritual, and it has lessons about like, you know, treating people right, equal values, like taking care of your people and all that type of shit. Spiritual shit.
Yeah. Princess Mononoke is about preserving nature.
Black people don't have them stories for us. What are we taught about spiritualism? Like, not outside of like religion. I'm talking about just a spiritualism on a level of like loving each other based on just humanism.
We got slave movies.
Is that, you know what I mean? Like, we're not taught that. And I just thought, like, it really just struck me in a way.
Harbor.
Like, I just never thought about that. Like, we don't have that. Like, there's something to be said about that and the way we treat each other and the way we move in society, because it's like we don't think about, I know this because he black, he got my back. We don't think about it like that.
Yeah,
we never think that. Like, it's because we know, like, man, this nigga just trying to get ahead. Like, a lot of other cultures teach that spiritualism so early. It's like you cannot shit on your brother.
Yeah, one of the things he said in his rant was, I'd never be like black people. You can't just sell me a religion. And I think it struck a chord just because I had a conversation with people about, because know my background, like I grew up in a Christian cult, and having conversations with people about what was it?
I mean, it was. It's a Christian cult, for sure.
But having conversations with people about religion, it was like I saw myself back then and realized how brainwashed it is. Like, you worshiping somebody who don't even look like you, and how much that affects, and how they downplay it, and why people are so adamant about it now, or why people have discarded religion, whether it be just based off society's trends or the fact that they've actually studied some shit and realized, wait a minute, all this shit is the same. And it makes it difficult to really kind of like, because we've been sold so much other information other than our own. Yes. Like, I notice rappers like 21 Savage and there's a few other ones. I can't remember who. It was either a Small Eyes or Vlad interview where they were talking about their religion. I think it's like Ebung, some African derivative of Christianity. But I notice other people are like, you notice a lot more Muslim rappers, a lot more Nation of Islam rappers. I think that may be the new cultural trend for a lot of black artists, especially given the time and climate now socially.
I think it's good, man. Like, as you said, man, I always look at my parents funny because it's like, man, you out here worshiping a white Jesus, man. Like, my name Malcolm, man. Y'all name me after Malcolm X, man. Like, this is like
spooky, man.
Yeah, man. Like, it make you really realize like how deep that. I hate to say it, like mental slavery can be. Like,
as you age, I feel like you get, because even my dad done softened up. Like, as you age, you need something to hold on to. And for somebody who's already holding on to something steadfast, you look at them like, oh, okay, well, if you doing it, you know what I mean?
I understand that the fear of death is big in most people, so
I don't even think it's a fear of death. I think it's
It's the
just
fear and
people
the
want to be huddled together like penguins do for warmth.
also yeah.
Like congregation keeps them from dying at a certain age. As you get
You're right.
older, like you
You're
gotta
right.
socialize
You're
because
right.
you start to lose social skills and your brain activity drops.
Yeah. You don't make friends in your 50s.
Yeah, we not making friends now. We 30. Like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying.
For
So
sure.
you can
I don't
imagine.
even want to make them.
But why?
Yeah.
They dying now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So and I remember having a conversation with my dad around the time. I think it was right before Bubs passed. I had a homeboy I went to high school with that got shot and killed, and I remember I was tripping because I said something to Maya about like I'm just glad shit ain't hit close to home, and then I find out somebody I went to like middle school and high school with dies, and I'm talking to my dad, and I'm like, man, it's just like, it's weird because I realize I'm getting older because all my friends dying. And he was like, you? Like, nigga, I'm 60. Like,
All my friends dead, nigga.
all my friends are dead. Lil
Lil
Uzi.
Uzi.
Like,
Yeah.
So it's just, you realize you start to be, you are the nigga you were when you was looking at your parents when you was like 7 or 8. Like, you're that person now.
But that's why I'm trying to like be steadfast in my values.
You gotta have a belief. I think my dad, my mom, I don't know what.
I don't want to let them shit shake as I like.
Yeah, I don't know what.
Mature.
I don't know what kind of upbringing she had. I just know that mine was kind of opposite. My dad's a lot more verbal with it, but I know that she holds on to religion like she ain't had something then, and I feel like. Because I have it.
I just said the congregation of people.
Yeah,
is the thing.
She's holding on to religion now, like she didn't have something like I think we talked about it on another podcast. Like everybody's doomed to repeat the mistakes they didn't correct in childhood, and the goal is to correct them now and approach it like you would if you didn't have any experience or no background knowledge of how the end result would occur, and then just figure it out. Just figure it out. And I think that's the thing that religion sort of hinders because you're not forced to figure shit out on your own. Like you're almost discouraged from looking up outside information.
Yeah,
or going elsewhere in order to understand different perspectives.
I was just watching Futurama and it was some quote. It was just like, well, if you don't want to make decisions, just join a religion.
And black people eat that up more than anybody else. Like you can see how easily it is. Nigga, the nigga we talking about, to get back on subject, Tenzin, he went to Morehouse. Like, he graduated from an HBCU.
Yeah.
Like, why?
We that shouldn't be allowed.
How? And it's always been that person that you knew that was like, you know what? I'm just go to an HBCU. And you be like, but you not black. Like, so? Scholarship.
I almost don't even trust those type of people because I feel like, I think the real ally,
he's going to be himself.
Yeah, and then they just, they get in where they fit in, man.
But I also think that there are it's that same afterglow of, like, the American settlers back when it was Native American tribes here, and they would go to war trying to settle some land that was already lived on or what's the word, populated by a Native American tribe. And let's say by happenstance Americans lose and they take prisoners. The people who grow up in those tribes, the white people that want to grow up in those, that end up growing up in those tribes, usually never return to society. And I often think about that with like a lot
Once you go black, you never go back.
Yeah, like you see, I had a conversation with somebody, a white friend of mine, where I was like, yo, I think white people fuck with black people because y'all know, like we be too concerned about life to be like shiesty. Like we got niggas that are shiesty, but it's so obvious that some shit's going on. All you gotta do is hang with a black person one time, and be like, yeah, don't fuck with that nigga, and then be like, oh, okay, all right, now I know. Like 3-car money, yeah, I can't do that. We can't do that. Yeah. Little game with 3 caps and the ball, like we not gonna do that. We're not gonna have that. Yeah. Like I don't want these CDs. Like I don't want these CDs.
Yeah, we can smell it. Yeah. It's just some bloodhound shit.
So, and I think it's a lot of times the society that they come from, like a white supremacist society, just point blank period. They spend so much time. They spend so much time trying to get over that they never look at anybody else who like either you assimilate or you end up on the outside anyway, and you end up being like poor white trash or some shit.
But to bring it back to the guy, he was from Tibet, so you know they dealt with a lot of shit. So I'm sure their people are a lot more together than we are. So maybe his view of black people is what it is because of what he's seen. You know what I mean? So like,
I mean, that's everybody though.
yeah,
Even black people.
that's why I'm never mad at racists.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at them. It's just like I don't think you should be it morally.
Yeah, you shouldn't be here. You shouldn't be around.
But you know, like, but at the same time, it's like I mean, if you're gonna be judgmental, then I'm sure like based on what you've seen, black people aren't the greatest people. Based on what you've seen, because you don't hang out with black people.
It's just not a good time, man.
The media controls your idea of
she
what
really
black
set
people
you up,
is.
man. Because now you out here, you going to try to apologize and think shit's sweet, and they're going to free pick you at the next march.
We'll see. We'll see how about it we really are.
I hope they do, man. Don't let me
I'm
down.
not calling
niggas.
for violence, but if somebody fucks him up on accident, I will applaud it.
On the back end. What else we got to talk about? We talked black conservatives. We talked about
Teens,
provocateurs.
yeah. We didn't really. You want to talk about that?
Black businesses we fuck with.
Oh, let's do that. Yeah.
All right, man.
First of all, we're gonna start with Decatur's own.
Hey,
Shout out
man.
to my nigga Trav. with
Decatur's own, man.
the fire seasoning.
We got three now?
Yeah, he got 3 different
Holy
seasonings.
Grail,
Dirty Bird.
Dirty Bird, and then Fish and Shrimp, and all that pimp ish. It's Decatur's own.
Yeah. So shout out
At
to my
Decatur's
nigga.
own.
Yeah.
On
At Decatur's
Instagram.
own, man. Follow him.
I'm gonna go ahead and just take the lead on the next
do
plug.
that.
City in the Woods, as you can see, City in the Woods is a Atlanta-based company, black owned. Shout out my nigga Vince Knows and Ant
Yeah.
VRG.
Suburbia non grata. Coffee. If you're a coffee fan, you know what I'm saying? You fuck with the fresh brews. Follow that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna spell it, man. Just figure it out, man. Follow me. I'm not good at this.
I'm gonna say.
You know what I wanted to say
What you
before
gonna say?
we even get into that? 10 deep.
Damn, bro.
So
Fuck.
it's funny because I talked to somebody who will remain nameless because I'm not gonna shit on you, but I had a little feeling when you said it. I was like, yo, I had some 10 deep shit on the other day, and the person was like, yo, you still rocking 10 deep? I was like, yeah, I'm always rock 10 deep. You know why? Because it's a black motherfucking business.
Man.
And quality dope. Like, whatever you want to say about 10 deep, it's not cool or not
I don't
cool.
think their style is waned.
I mean, I like 10 deep. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So I think 10 deep is something to be said about that. It's good. It's dope streetwear. It's always fire. Like, they always have at least one piece that I'll fuck with every season. So shout out 10 deep. Will Sasso? What's his name?
Scott Sasso.
Scott Sasso.
Scott
Will
Sasso.
Sasso was like the white guy.
That's the nigga from
Yeah,
Arrested
Mad
Development.
TV.
Will Sasso was the magician on Arrested Development. He does a lot of good writing though. That's dope.
Scott Sasso.
Shout
man.
out Will Sasso and 10 Deep. That need to be the next
Will Sasso.
You heard it here first.
Oh, that's the name of the pod.
The
Will
Will Sasso. All right, next company I'm gonna shout out is we'll just free pick, man. We'll just see how many black owned businesses we can ramble off. Just Add Honey. Just Add Honey is a tea shop. It's in there's one on Edgewood and Sweet Auburn Curb Market. I think they do pop-up shops around the city. Definitely solid. Everybody's trying to be healthy now. They definitely have a variety of teas and a lot of dope tea technology that niggas don't normally fuck with unless they grew up in a upper middle class household. So yeah, Just That Honey Tea Shop. Go.
Shout out JJ's Fish and Chicken.
Hey, are they black
Nah,
owned?
I don't know. I'm just saying some shit. Nah.
You got an easy one, bro. Staring you in the face. That's why I figured I'll leave it up. I'll leave it up to you to go next.
I'm trying to think. Black businesses.
Don't have to be local. It could be from anywhere. Even Chicago.
Fat Tiger Workshop. Joe, it's crazy. I just shouted you out though. Shout out Joe
Yeah.
Fresh Goods. I shouted out Joe Fresh Goods the last episode. Yeah, definitely. Shout out to him, man. I met him in person.
So you
He's
shouted out JJ instead of Joe. Joe Fresh.
nigga,
I'm fucking with you, bro.
Joe Fresh Goods. Shout out Joe Fresh Goods, man. Yeah, man. Of course, man. If you love streetwear, motherfuckers on some shit. I don't really want to like go do the nigga whole catalog, but I mean, from Doughboy Magic to where we are now. He just did the Kawhi Leonard shits. Everybody's going crazy over those. Shout out Joe Fresh Goods. He wasn't even tripping about like his shop getting looted. So, really shout out to him.
Yeah, I think he's one of the few people that gets it, man. One of the reasons I fuck with Chicago niggas is because I'm gonna keep it the two Virgils. I feel like them niggas are Atlanta niggas with cold weather. Like, they love Gucci. All this shit sound like
Midwest
trap music.
niggas in general.
In general, like
Yeah.
they just Atlanta niggas with bigger coats.
Yeah. My whole fam from the Midwest, so shout out to the Midwest, man. Shout out Joe Fresh Goods. Again, Fat Tiger Workshop. If you don't know, get to know. What else you got?
I'm trying to look up a restaurant. Le Petit Marché, which is it's a bakery, but they do breakfast. It's in East Atlanta, Zone 6. You already know what it is. Right down the street from Zone 6 Precinct, so you know it's real. Fuck the police. But it's on Hosea Williams. Black-owned bakery. Every time I go in there, it's always a line. I think it's a dope little spot to go to if you are out in the city and don't want to go downtown or to a stupid brunch. Like,
Oh yeah, and
you gotta wear Chelsea boots.
follow No Limit Exposure if you like photography.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Definitely.
shit is how motherfuckers see us now.
Black business. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
The black business that keeps us alive every day. All the photos that you see on my goddamn Instagram is mostly my nigga Taji. So shout out Taji. Yeah.
That's enough, man. And with Taji,
Yeah.
the coffee shop. Oh, Le Petit Marché. Yeah, it's I've gone there, huh? Yeah, it's in Kirkwood, right over there by what is that? Is it by Dolce Vita? And another black business, Anna's Barbecue, which is also owned by yep, right there, which is also over there on Jose and also owned by an African American. Yeah, so you got options, man.
Yeah.
Sunday was a rough day. I was trying my hardest. I didn't feel like cooking this week, so I ended up ordering food. I had to get it from a Jamaican restaurant, which isn't hard on the east side, but it's really difficult to find black businesses. So if you find a few, try to support them niggas in the frequency that you do everybody else.
And everybody be trying to shit on niggas that they say every nigga got a clothing line and all this shit. Fuck it, nigga. We all buy clothes. Let's fuck with our niggas that got a clothing line.
Yeah,
Let's pipe them up till they got a denim line.
right. Let's make sure you still supporting black artists too. Like
Yeah. Let's
These-
support the
these-
black artists because, you know.
at this point, it's essential workers. Like
Yeah.
their work is essential. It distracts us from the bullshit that we got going. I know for me, it was essential that I had good music or at least somebody putting out content that I fucked with, whether it be a podcast or even just photos. I appreciate all the people who were taking photos out there. My nigga Terry Kicks was out there at a protest last week, I think Friday. He got
Shout
some nice
out
shots.
Decatur Stan.
Yeah, Decatur Stand too.
Took a lot of dope photos on the protest. Shout out Ryan Visions.
Mel,
Shout out Melly. Phyllis Iller.
Phyllis Iller on IG.
I meant to shout her out as far as photography is concerned too. But yeah, we can get into the music. What you been listening to? We always in it like that, so let's do it like that. What you been listening to recently?
What I listened to recently. All right, so
I can go first if you need me to.
I kind of got a tangent. I've been listening to Alfredo still. I'm not even gonna flex, but I sent it to Taji. I didn't know if he caught it, but there's a sample on this album We that Madlib used for Bandana. I wanna say it's "Teach Me How." Cataracts. Okay.
Yeah, stop it
All
right
right.
there. It's cool. It's cool.
So that was off the Bandana album, and I'm having a conversation with a nigga at work about how I like this album better than Bandana or Alfredo better than Bandana. He's like, yo, they sound the same. I'm like, bro, I feel like this one just is a little more polished. Like he came with a little bit more of an edge.
I don't know. I think I like Bandana still more.
I don't know. I'm still kind of on the fence. But that being said, he's got. I gave that great argument and felt like I talked him down just to hear that this same album, which is You Can Fly on My Aeroplane, also has the sample for Scotty Beam on it. And I'm listening to it. Will playing it yesterday, and I'm listening to it. I'm like, yo, this shit's crazy. But yeah, I'll send it to you later. But Alfredo and this We album, a lot of dope samples that I feel like have just been untouched that apparently now everybody's gonna grab up are on this whole project. I've been listening to War. Um, I've been on this real '70s chant song vibe where I just like identifying songs like War or Why Can't We Be Friends, where it's a bunch of voices in unison. Earth, Wind, and Fire used to have
Why
bunch of
can't
songs
we
like that.
be friends?
Serpentine Fires like that. So I
It's
just
funny
went,
because I always just make fun of my pops because he would play that shit loud. I'm like, nigga,
cut this old nigga shit off. That's so hard, bro.
why can't we be friends?
So I make you tear up, man, at the right moments.
That's what Homer walked to when he was fighting Dredrick Tate.
Yeah, bruh. That was the funniest shit ever.
Look at you, man.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
But yeah, that's it, man. Alfredo and then random old school '70s music.
All right, well, I've been fucking with, as you said, Alfredo, man. Shout out Freddie Gibbs. The Recession.
Damn,
Shout out Young Jeezy.
What's wild? You went through that today?
Yeah,
I went through Thug Motivation today.
that's crazy.
Shout out to you, man.
Yeah.
I didn't say it because I was like, man, nobody want to hear this shit. I really played it this morning because it was Monday and I needed Thug Motivation.
Lupe Fiasco, I'm Beaming, just a single. A written testimony, of course, J-Elect. Shout out J-Elect. J-Electricity.
I went back through that recently, too.
Control System, Ab-Soul. Very relevant right now.
It's been a while. I should touch that one.
Lupe Fiasco, Shining Down. Another like dope little Lucy that didn't really pop. To Pimp a Butterfly.
Damn, I went through that today, too.
Damn, Kendrick. Y'all hearing my cat? Pay her no mind. She's dying slowly. It's just a slow chance.
She on her ninth life.
Yeah. Philadelphia Freeway. Long-term mentality, Ab-Soul. The Beautiful Struggle, Talib Kweli.
That's a good album. That's a good quality album.
Pinata, Gibbs. And I think that's where it ends. But yeah, man, been on a lot of Black Power shit. Unfortunately or fortunately. But yeah, man.
We were supposed to put together some songs that we'll try to do that next episode.
Yeah.
Revolution ain't gonna slow down.
Type of shit.
Yeah, we'll just put some songs together. I feel like we can do like 70s to current.
Yeah,
a little bit of everything. You can work it in
shit.
chronological order,
Yeah.
like 5 songs.
Yeah, we'll do the top 10 Revolution songs.
All right, that works.
Next episode.
Anything you been watching?
As I said, I said the last episode, I've been keeping it real loose, like a lot of cartoons, just shit that doesn't really involve everything. So like I said, I've been going right back through BoJack. I tiptoed on the Jeffrey Epstein documentary. I haven't watched it
I fell
fully
asleep
yet.
on it twice, man.
I don't really care about the story of a nigga who rapes kids.
Yeah.
To be honest, like I don't care about the details, but I don't know, man. If I get bored enough, I might watch it. But yeah, that's all I've been on. A lot of cartoons, man. I just been really disconnected when it
You
comes.
get a chance to watch any of Midnight Gospel yet?
Not yet. I got
Yeah, we fuck with Midnight
a
Gospel.
hot bag of shrooms, and don't tell the federales.
They got bigger problems right now.
And by a hot bag of shrooms, I mean a pepperoni pizza. And by a pepperoni pizza, I don't mean no child molestation shit. Apparently, because that means that.
Hours worth of.
Hey, in case Illuminati watching. Or Hillary Clinton.
I just ordered Papa John's. I think I'm Big Meech.
Big Meech Pizza need to be a chain, bro. If they do Big Meech Pizza, nigga, BMP, Black Mafia Pizza, nigga. Now we talking, bro.
I'm thinking Big Cheese.
Pepperoni. Whipping dough. Niggas phone. I don't know.
Nah, man.
What? Yeah, I've been watching shit, man.
Yeah, man. So it's just been a lot of cartoons. I haven't got Midnight Gospel. I low key. I was so interested that I'm like, I want to watch it when I want to reserve that to. You know what I mean? Like I'm not in a rush to see it all because I know once that's gone, it's like
It's gonna be another entertainment desert.
I still haven't watched Ozark new season yet.
I just finished that maybe like the week before.
Is it worth
I
watching?
wasn't. Yeah, it's definitely worth watching, but I'm desensitized to that type of show now because there's so many of them. Like I almost would rather watch a really really good cartoon. I watch Solar Opposites. That's pretty good, but it's just
I thought about watching it.
It's just like Rick and Morty with different characters. So it's funny, but I don't know. I'm stuck in the same loops, entertainment wise.
Nah, same. But I guess we'll end it right there. Welcome to the YouTube version of Wash Guards, I guess.
Prices going up.
We're washed but not washed up.
And
Shout out to our Anchor listenership, our Spotify listenership,
boop, 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 boop.
our fucking iTunes podcast listenership.
Talking about you, baby. Thank y'all for listening, man. Thank you for subscribing, share. Make sure you tell your peoples.
Yeah,
And,
right, like, share, subscribe, do the 4 things.
Thank you, Taji.
I appreciate it. No limit exposure. And
If
some
you
shit.
fitted me on Twitter. Just so you
Shout out
can
to
harass
yo
him.
bitch.
Yeah,
I'm
always.
sure all
and
this
forever.
shit get cut. Yeah.
Stay black, man.
Stay black or die.